I'm currently a registered nurse working in a multitude of different jobs.
I'm now a PhD candidate and sessional academic in the School of Computer Science at the Queensland University of Technology.
Currently the founder of Before You Speak Coffee.
And I'm a songwriter, singer-songwriter you could say, yeah.
I'm currently a member relationship advisor at Credit Union Australia.
We've sold coffee to a bit over 50 countries around the world.
I make video games and I teach at the university here on the Sunshine Coast.
Community Engagement Coordinator at the University of Southern Queensland.
I am a dietitian and I run my own business, and then I'm a mum.
And I'm a first year medical student.
Teach kids every day about recycling and waste.
And my current role is an NBN escalations manager for Telstra.
And I currently own Coast Marine Electrical.
I wanted to get into the creative advertising space, and now I'm a lawyer, which isn't particularly creative.
Currently I'm working as a data scientist for Nearmap, a tech company in Sydney.
I work for a local non-for-profit, non-government organisation called Community Lifestyles Agency.
And I currently own Harvey Bay Diesel Service.
I guess interest in terms of what we're doing now is that international expansion.
I've acted in massive litigation that's now changed the insolvency law in Australia.
So I'm currently working on an album at the moment. I'm finally working to get my music out there.
I'm doing my own coaching business, sort of high performance coaching now.
I did make and publish my own mobile game.
Working on a waste and recycling app, an animated game teaching them how to recycle.
Started the Kawana Park Run. There was the 11th or 12th one in Australia.
Lots of canopy four drive setups for families that travel around Australia.
What we do is we are a provider of aerial imagery, so high resolution aerial imagery.
So it's a little kitty cat, and when it gets dark it lights up essentially.
I've worked in the COVID clinic and I've worked casually in ED, medical, surgical.
So I was part of a satellite project that we ended up launching to space.
We're helping other scientists in developing their experimental studies.
The organisation I work for, we support people with disabilities to live amazing lives.
You know, use what I know in order to help improve someone else's life or help improve what they do.
And spend time with kids and mentor them through that early phase of high school.
Sponsored local hockey team this year.
So I go along to schools and educate them on the 5 things that can be recycled.
We're helping construction and people that are doing the surveys do their job more efficiently and easily.
A client called James, and he lost his finger in a workplace accident, and we can make this in the makerspace here for $5.
I'm not just giving them a nurse, I'm giving them a happy nurse. That's going to be like the best part of their day. I do lots of conversations with community groups, builders, developers around how can we bring disability or the needs of people with disability to the forefront of the conversations.
We were involved in the Dunga Derby this year, and it helps Fraser Coast families direct.
In school, I definitely was a bit of a floater.
I was never straight A's or anything like that. I was probably playing sport at lunchtime.
I think I was the type of student that liked having a go at everything.
I was absolutely the teacher's pet.
I wouldn't think it was that bad, but I think I definitely was a little bit high energy.
Pretty good most of the time, I think.
A happy regular student.
I guess looking back I was a bit boisterous.
Yeah, probably not the most studious.
I would say you're almost like the class clown.
Oh, for some teachers I would have been an absolute angel. For others I wouldn't have been oh so good.
I was quieter than what I am now.
Definitely not putting my hand up, I know that much.
I was pretty silly but also pretty hardworking at the same time.
And I think I'm witty enough to play around with the teachers and joke with them, but I was never too much that I put my toe over the line.
Definitely a bit of a nerd, yeah.
There was always some form of after-school activity that you could be involved in.
I would never ordinarily be part of a musical or anything like that, but I did that, and then I volunteered for future musicals.
I did actively engage in a couple of drama-related competitions, and through that I've developed and grasped some skills that I actually use on a day-to-day basis.
Like I was able to become school captain.
I think even performing on assembly was a big one for me. I think that gave me my first taste of what it was like to be performing in front of a big audience.
I started to take a lot more photos for the school, and one of them actually ended up on an advert on a bus.
You know, I did so much extracurricular stuff only because of that school, so yeah, I speak highly of it. It was an awesome 5 years of my life that I remember fondly.
My next goal for myself is to undertake a project management course.
I think the next step for me is to continue in research. I'd like to stay in the university setting.
Travelling Queensland and implementing what we've got here on the Fraser Coast for Queensland and then I guess Australia.
So the dream is to, I would just love to be a professional recording artist. I'd love to be playing big shows. I would love to play for big crowds.
Kind of meld all my passions together and really start working with people to develop some skill sets across all facets of life. And
yeah, keep moving down the path of academia in that respect, and hopefully I'll make some pretty cool video games along the way too. Yeah.
Moving completely online, I can help a lot more people all at once.
And then I want to use medicine to try and travel.
The goal with that is to become the biggest functional beverage company in the world.
Probably either merge into another firm, merge my firm into another firm with a bit more infrastructure with a view to grow.
Using AI to solve social problems.
I'd love to be able to see this place evolve into a hardware entrepreneurship space.
My holy grail job would be to teach nursing students.
Yeah, just become that one-stop shop for the diesels in Harvey Bay.
Family-wise, creating a gigantic family.
All the kids, yeah. Probably will move out into a bigger shed eventually when he's had enough of me and kicks me out, but we'll see what happens there. I always loved the school ground, so I still do. Walking Lockie through the school now, you get to see it all and the bush atmosphere. And
it really is a fun place to be.
It's a good environment, got to play footy.
I really enjoyed that the pace of school and the school experience set me up for life afterwards.
It's pretty awesome, to be honest. We had great teachers.
You know, the teachers, some that I still consider as role models now. I think that's huge and I'll always remember that.
The amount of care you would get on a personal level was quite high, and so you would really feel like you're part of the community.
You were celebrated for being good at something.
There was that a bit more of a personalised sort of experience, and
I have such valuable friendships from that time and relationships that I built.
A tight-knit group of people who are also interested in the things that you are.
Having good teachers at FCAC really reflected on what I've done now. I think they really pushed us to perform as best we can.
That was great to sort of have some mentors, to have those around.
It was like a community where, yeah, you just belonged. It was awesome.
Being consistently in a morally just direction, I suppose.
I learned that if you apply yourself, you can really do whatever you sort of set out to do, as long as you've got the right attitude.
Try your best at whatever you do. Just do your best at whatever it is that you do, and just get involved.
You know, if you actually do apply yourself, something can happen.
What I found usually was that they want to help you be the best you that you can be.
Getting a good talking to about not giving up. So that's probably the biggest one that's ever stuck with me, just not giving up and keep cracking at it.
There are 1,000 stories like those ones, and there will be thousands more throughout the history of this college. And what I'm really interested in is the stories that will be there for our own children. What paths will they take? One thing is for sure, we are shaped by the environment we grow up in, and we're shaped by the environment that we go to school in. And you can see that FCAC spirit still burns within those who have passed through this school. They have used their education to better themselves, and they also use it to better their communities. And now a new generation of FCAC students benefits from the trees planted by those first foundation students, and they benefit from the journey through these doors at the college. And from today, one of those generations is going to take that next step, that next challenge. And each of them carries a light in their heart and a head full of dreams. And what we want for them to do is to carry that spirit with them as they move out into their own communities to make this world a better place for others.